What's up, everybody? It's Carpo here. I'm sitting out in this field of grass. I'm just going to show you. I was thinking about being a kid and how awesome it was to sit in a big field of grass. And I'm over at my sister-in-law's house and we're swimming in the pool. And I decided to get out and take a break and make a video here. I don't spend very much time in the pool because I don't know. I'm not a big swimmer. I just like to get in and get out. But anyway, whatever. Today I was thinking this morning about truth and lies. It's a common recurring theme in my life. Trying to wade through all the evidence and information to see what is real and what isn't, because it's one of my passions. It's what interests me. And I was thinking this morning about how there's two different kinds of truths. There's the evidence, there's the truth that comes through evidence, and the truth that comes through subjective experience. And I was thinking that the hardest thing to dispute is a personal experience. And this is a recurring theme in many of the discussions I've had with people where, we can analyze both sides of whether I'm for something and they're against it, or I'm against something and they're for it. We'll have these big long discussions back and forth, maybe on YouTube. And then in the end, a person might say something like, well, I've felt it, or I've seen it, or I've been through it, that puts a completely different notion into the whole argument, because it makes it very difficult to judge the accuracy of that evidence, because we don't know the person. So at that point we're kind of at a dead end, because for me, personal experience really rivals many things, but it doesn't rival common sense. If I were to see something, let's say, in the sky, and I were to truly believe it was a UFO, and then I were to see, on a news report that they, like this happened to me last year actually, and they released the Chinese lanterns. And this was a matter of, this is something I'd seen and I thought I'd seen, but the reality was proven to me otherwise. But when it's something that can't be proven, such as a person having a very spiritual experience or a breakthrough, like when a person says, I had an awakening, or I had an experience with God, or experience with this or that, it's very difficult to really counter that with anything. You can't, and there's no point in doing so, of course. This is what we live for, our subjective experience, the way that we understand the world on an individual level. And then with having discussions with people, I've heard folks say, that it sounds preposterous that we have subjective truths, but that's just the way I see it, because I see that no matter what the ultimate truth is, with the capital T, we're always going to follow our own viewpoints to draw conclusions. And I try to minimize doing that, but I still do it. And at some point you have to say, okay, this must be real, or this must not be real, or and to each person that's going to be different. But when we get into a discussion and we're talking about actual evidence, it's very hard when the evidence presented is the person's personal experience, because we can't be in their shoes. We can't understand where they're coming from. We try. I try. I do my best. I get into arguments with people sometimes about stupid stuff, but in the end, I think, and I'm open-minded to it, and if a person suggests something that they experienced, and I hear this enough times, then it can paint a picture of a truth that can't be proven. I guess an example of that would be when one person's had an experience that they claim is the ultimate truth, and that everyone else just doesn't understand it yet. It's not likely we're going to believe that one person. But when groups and groups of people start to come forward and say something, then we lend more credence to it. And the credibility of a person is dependent a lot upon who they are and their status in society, unfortunately. But it's the reality that people who do have experiences that are very intense are less likely to speak out if they're in the public eye. So we can't really gauge, a true experience of life because everyone's covering up so much of what they've experienced, and other people are elaborating so much on what they've experienced. So it really does come down to that subjective personal view. If I were to take majority rule, then I might believe a religion, in my area, but I don't. And it's because I don't lean towards what the most people think. I lean towards what my reason and my rational thinking leads me to believe. But it's not always the best place, but I do what I can. So anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to part with this tree I've been looking at. Very cool. Very cool. I'll show you the spot I'm at here. Nothing special. This field's going to be gone pretty soon, so this might be the last video taken of it. The house that they have over here has been sold, so they have like 2 weeks to move. I think this big shed is part of it, but also they have these beautiful flowers, everywhere, I love rhododendrons, even though they're very bulky and ugly generally. When they do bloom, they are absolutely gorgeous. We got a lot of roadies out here in Oregon. I heard that rhododendrons are native to the Himalayas, actually, or Tibet or something. I know it kind of surprised me, actually, because they grow up in the forest up here. And I always thought they were native to the Northwest. Here's an apple tree. Soon come, soon come. Or maybe that's the pear tree. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Here's another one. Yeah, those look like pears. Sweet. Too bad they'll probably be plowed down. There's the house. This whole area has been converted. I used to live in a farmhouse right over here, and we had like a few acres. It was great. We farmed on it and everything, and then one day we get this notice that, oh, they sold the land, we have 30 days to move out. I was like devastated. I had my whole garden planted, everything, and yeah, it sucked, but life goes on. Namaste, everyone.